We were identified for CSI through special education growth with the MCAP assessment. And one thing that we really wanted to focus on with that was data-driven instruction and small group instruction. Our TSI program, Transitional Supplemental Instruction, is a program that's funded by our district and specifically our network for 3 paras, 1 in kindergarten, 1 in first grade, and 1 in second grade. And all that they do all day long is pull data-driven small groups around early literacy, pulling our foundations curriculum and our phonics curriculum into small group instruction for an extra practice session for students.
In 2019, it became a piloted program that CLN3 brought to the network. Our ILED wanted it to be included into our network area, so we brought it in again as a pilot. But because of COVID and the pandemic, we only were able to skim the surface with it. The year we came back is how full implementation. And so we incorporated 3 literacy tutors, a group of students who kind of fell within that yellow range on their DIBELS data. And from there, we moved on and created our sessions, our groupings, and it's been 4 years now.
So we targeted about 50, a little bit more than 50 of students that were labeled yellow on DIBELS through that assessment, so right approaching on grade level. And today, as of end of the year assessments being completed, 80% of those kids are now on grade level in early reading, kindergarten to second grade, which is amazing. So that's the big evidence piece that we've had. We've also increased confidence and things like that too with those kids.
The interventionist has given those students a sense of confidence where a child may not in a large group be one to raise their hand or be, a participant as freely in that small group, I think because it is a smaller setting. And you can see it when they've scored on their assessments. The kids come in, they want to share their information. They want to do well, they want to do better. And so I feel that this program has really helped a lot of our students to gain that self-confidence.
I think one of my favorite stories is a student that's in that group and her smile when she received her end of the year score being on green. And we track them, we give kids little note cards and they get to go around and share with each other. And when a student got on green or scored a green score at the end of the year, she went to every single teacher in the hallway and got a high five, right? And that student came in and didn't speak much English at all. So to see that confidence level on top of the data score, right, just made my day.
It's a powerful tool that we use because it allows us again to target students who I say are kind of on the fence, who need that little push over the fence. And it has enabled relationships. First of all, we have to build the relationship between the interventionist and the children. And so I feel like it's an informal setting. The interventionists are able to kind of see what deficits and strengths the students have and kind of build it from there. And so it's intentional planning, intentional implementation, data-bound, data-driven, and remediation, I believe, each and every day. So we look at the trouble spots each day, then we move to the next day to see where, again, we are implementing the curriculum, but again, modifying for each individual student.
What makes TSI unique is that it's a district-supported program. So our district office representation is super important. Stefania Ray is someone that works with us to provide professional development to the tutors, help us look at the data, and also work with our literacy coach in-house. Additionally, my boss, my ILED or my community superintendent, if you want to call it, is also a huge connection for me because this is also a program that's in our whole region of schools in our network. The third is the parents. We're a huge ESOL population here at Armistead Garden, so it's super important that we teach our parents how to teach at home, whether that's extra practice for letter naming fluency or phoneme segmentation, things like that. We provide that bilingually through aftercare programs, through different resources for families so that they can continue to support at home too. I think it's important you got to be able to know how to employ these people because what makes TSI really special is that this isn't a vendor. These are 3 paras that we've hired internally. We recruited them, we staff them, and we pay for them. I think that's the first piece. The second part is just knowing the curriculum and knowing the assessment and the data. You have to get dirty with that and get into the weeds around it with each individual kid. So you hear me saying letter naming fluency, phoneme segmentation, things like that. We need to know that as leaders, especially when we think about early literacy. The third thing is then the coaching around it and the professional development and making sure that the schedule aligns so that kids get an opportunity to get this intervention. We do not use these paras to cover, ever, because if we did, the kids wouldn't have access to the intervention. So it's very important that our schedule is clear so that kids get access to it.
My advice is let's keep the program going because it has shown tremendous growth. Let's keep encouraging to get those extra supports we need because a classroom teacher can't do it always all by themselves. And you wish that someone could come in and just help you take that small little group or give you that extra support. And now that we have those supports in place and everybody is there for the same reason and the same end goal, the sky's the limit.
I think it's important for us as school leaders to get K-5 right, because if we don't get K-5 right, especially in literacy, we're not going to get 6 to 8 or 9 to 12. So we have to invest in young people. We have to invest in the science of reading and the youth in that age group, particularly around ESOL too, and being able to differentiate and really see the whole child in that. Because without early literacy that's systematic and data-driven, we're just throwing darts in the dark. And we're never going to really move kids to where they need to be successful as they continue to grow in our country.